As concerned citizens of Freetown and Lakeville, together with Long Pond residents, it is our intent to form a lake district covering the Long Pond watershed. Long Pond and its surrounding waterways are being taken over by an invasive aquatic plant life and other invasive species that threaten the water quality to a point that within the next 20 years, Long Pond and the Assawamsett Pond complex will be dead and impassable. Most aquatic life will perish and the drinking supply for Taunton and New Bedford will diminish. Rivers and streams will dam, and the properties upstream will flood. The invasive species life is fueled by nutrients that are non-native, such as lawn fertilizer from rain runoff, improper septic systems, and silt infiltration from unpaved roads and the lack of storm drains. The death of this watershed is not speculation. It is a scientific certainty. Long Pond is the breeding ground for one of the largest herring run in New England and one of the largest on the East Coast. Herring, consisting of both alewives and blueback herring, live in the Atlantic Ocean. In the spring, they enter the Narragansett Bay, swim up the Taunton River, then upstream into the Nemasket River, then across the Assawamsett Pond complex, then under Route 18 into the Snake River, then across Long Pond in Lakeville, into Roundsville Cove in Freetown, where on a calm night one can see hundreds of thousands of fins cresting the water as the herring spawn. The adult fish return to the ocean, while the young follow in the fall. The invasive aquatic plant life is choking those waterways and will surely cause the extinction of these fish and many other species of wildlife. Long Pond is also Massachusetts' largest recreational body of water. It supports businesses such as boating, fishing, gas stations, restaurants, marinas, water sports, liquor stores, vacation rentals, and more. Not having this resource will have a huge negative economic impact on Lakeville and Freetown, causing local businesses to suffer and property values to greatly decrease. Waterfront properties will no longer be able to be assessed as waterfront, costing the towns millions of dollars every year. Long Pond, through its tributaries, is the largest supplier of water to the Assawamsett Pond complex, which is the water supply for over 150,000 residents of Taunton and New Bedford. These cities combined draw an average of 18 million gallons of water every day. Doing nothing to eradicate the invasive plants will surely cause the water supply to diminish, forcing those cities to turn to an already taxed MWRA for their water. This would cost the residents of those cities hundreds of millions of dollars. If you Google drowning by invasive weeds, you will see a page full of newspaper articles of men, women, and children that were caught up in the weeds and died by drowning. One of which was an accomplished swimmer that died in Woods Pond in Middleborough. It is only a matter of time before someone's child dies in Long Pond.
You know, back in the day, we could swim out to this buoy here and with no problem, with no weeds, and now we can't go any further than probably to the edge of our dock now when we start encountering weeds. And now you get involved in some entanglement issues. I can tell you a few years back, I did jump off the back of my boat, not knowing how thick the weeds were, and almost didn't come up. And that's no joke. It's scary.
The impact of these invasive weeds in a dollar amount is in the millions, and the ecological impact is the demise and extinction of many species of wildlife. I have had at-length conversations and meetings with Freetown and Lakeville administration, planning and select boards, conservation commissions, the Department of Environmental Protection, the Department of Fisheries and Wildlife, the Massachusetts Department of Lake Access, the Massachusetts Department of Conservation and Recreation, the Commissioner of the New Bedford Department of Public Infrastructure, the Taunton Waterworks, our state representatives, and Senator Rodericks. I have attended almost every meeting there was with regard to these issues. This problem has been presented to the municipalities and the state legislature since 1998. There have been many meetings and powerful suggestions as to how to resurrect, protect, and preserve these wonderful bodies of water. However, in 20 years, there's been zero progress. The reason is always the same: no money. The only way to create the revenue needed is to create a lake district. A lake district is a specialized unit of government designed to manage the watershed area. A major difference between a lake district and a lake association is a lake district's ability to collect fees directly from the town's property tax bills from the properties within the district. A lake district has a unique blend of powers tailored to fit the needs of a lake community. A lake district's day-to-day operations are carried out by a board of commissioners composed of elected employees volunteers, and local officials. The financial direction of the district is determined by majority vote by the district proprietors at an annual meeting. Once the Freetown-Lakeville Lake District is formed, the district committee will identify all properties within the district that have a benefit to the waterways to determine the annual fee that will be assessed. There are approximately 1,600 properties that have a benefit to Long Pond. Once there is a revenue stream, the district prudential committee will complete a detailed lake assessment that will determine the proper courses of action. 5 major action points are: Number 1, create a plan to eradicate the invasive species. Number 2, create a plan through engineering to redirect water runoff from dirt roads into proper catch basins and retention areas to limit or remove the silt and fertilizer infiltration. Number 3, educate the public through the district's mandatory annual meetings on the things they can and must do to protect this resource. Number 4, address the management of the state boat ramp, add a mandatory boat wash plant to assure proper flushing prior to entry into the lake to prevent the introduction of invasive species. Number 5, Long Pond is well known for its shallow, rocky waters. These rocks claim hundreds of boat propellers, cause thousands in property damage, and have caused many personal injuries, and some of those injuries were severe. With a revenue, the district would have the ability to remove those rocks that have plagued Long Pond forever. We ask the board to make an immediate decision to support Freetown-Lakeville Lake District and to put this issue before the townspeople for a vote. This way we can stop the 20 years of talking and start acting now.